Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the San Dimas Wine Shop and Tasting Room. This here is our video for the Twist Off versus Cork, and we've got a really nice, I call it a high-end lineup. So all these wines were chosen by Cooper once again for this week, and let's take it from the top, Greg. Let's start out. Let's start out with the Pedroncelli. This is a rosé of Zinfandel. Now, you see how dark this rosé is. It's called Sagny, is the name of the process, and it's done 50% Sagny, which means that it's a bleed off. You know, when you think about the Latin term of Sagny, you're talking about sangre, which just means blood. So what happens is, on these grapes, they are squished through a process of just gravity, and then it bleeds out. As it bleeds out, it does come out with a little bit higher extraction. And what we've got here is 100% Zinfandel. So, you know, if you like that style of rosé and kind of strawberry jam and a little bit of watermelon, I think that this is going to be your style of rosé. It's a bone dry rosé, and like I said, it goes through 50% Sagny, and I think what I especially like about it is that it's got that real tartness to it with that real fruit forwardness to it. So an outstanding rosé that comes out of Sonoma County. Then we are going to go over to the Pavi Dolcetto. 100% Dolcetto from Yountville. It's got some essence of vanilla, cinnamon, cola, and then it's got these really nice soft tannins, and it goes through 100% French oak. The French oak is for the most part either a medium toast or neutral oak. You're going to notice that it's not one of those overly heavy wines, but you know, especially for what we've got coming up now. You know, we've got some pool activity coming up. We've got a lot of family coming up in the next few weeks as we get ready for summertime. This is one of those great wines to be able to start with that. So think about that when doing your Yountville or doing your Dolcetto, and I think you're going to really enjoy this wine. Next, we're going to go with a wine that's been around here forever, which is the Bonnie Doon. We've been pouring this wine for a long time. This is the Les Cigars Volant. It's Syrah, Grenache, Cinsault, Mourvèdre, and Carignan. Comes out of the Central Coast, which is just, it would include Paso Robles and then anything west of Paso Robles. Has kind of these flavors of spearmint and cassis, a little bit of blackberry. But I really like it because it's got that spiciness too of like clove and cardamom. And you know, I would definitely consider this a very high-end wine. And for those of you that are going to be grilling over the next couple of weeks, especially if you're going to be doing some lamb chops over the next few weeks, I would definitely think about doing this wine. Next, we're going to go on to Australia. Australia, this comes from Barossa, and Barossa is kind of like on the southern west side of Australia. So I would definitely consider it a warm region. You know, when you look at the clay in Barossa, there's a lot of iron. When you look at the top of it, it's bright red or kind of like an orange. And what happens is a lot of that iron rises to the top. It rusts through all of the weather that happens there, and it gets kind of this orangey kind of reddish hue over the top. And this pepper jack here, this is a blend of Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Malbec with a little bit of Sangiovese and some Cab Franc, and believe it or not, even a little bit of Tempranillo. It's got a huge blend here. It's aged in French and American oak for a total of 12 months, but really more of a fruit-forward wine, absolutely delicious. For those of you that just did your Thanksgiving, for your Easter, if you have some leftover ham, this would be a great wine to do with that. If you're going to do ham sandwiches or anything with that in the next couple of weeks or so, think about that wine. I think it works out really well. Then we're going to go on to the Supremus. The Supremus Red. This is mostly Sangiovese. It does have some Merlot, some Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, it almost fits in that, it's a Tuscan wine, but it almost fits into that super Tuscan because of the way it's blended. But it's done 14 months on French oak. It's 70% new French oak. Now, it's not a heavy toast that's on that French oak, but it is a big, big, bold wine. So, for those of you that are into grilling some big ribeyes, you know, coming up in the next few weeks, absolutely, this is, I wouldn't waste any time. Or take some of those ribeyes and brush a little bit of olive oil or maybe some rosemary infused olive oil with some garlic on there. You're really, really going to enjoy that wine. And then last but not least, we're going to switch over now to the CV Vineyard. This is the Caravina Cabernet Sauvignon, another super high-end wine, I think. It's Cabernet Sauvignon Petit Verdot out of Napa Valley. Big fruit forward, like plummy and kind of, you know, blackberry. It's aged in French oak, of which 15%, of which 50% is brand new. And it's aged for 19 months, so this is definitely a big, big wine. You know, think about prime rib, or think about any lamb. I would certainly think about doing some nice spring lamb that's coming around. So, really nice lineup. It's a real nice lineup that's done with, I think, some really good high-end wines. I think as a lot of you come in over the next few weeks, or over the next few days, I think you're going to notice just how good these wines are. And we don't have a lot of these in stock. So as you see them, if you like them, buy them, because if you try to come back 2 days later to try and find them, there's a pretty decent chance that you're not going to find them. So we've got a couple of events coming up. We've got the Italian classes coming up with some dates that are going to come out specific. But I think more importantly, with Christy Raymond, for those of you that have done her wines before, with the 5 vintners, we have got a dinner coming up in which we're going to be doing 3 tapas, 3 wines. We're doing a Sauvignon Blanc, a Cabernet Sauvignon, and I believe a Zinfandel. So those are the 3 wines that are coming up. We're going to do some tapas with it. We're doing it on Tuesday, April 21st from 5 to 8:30. It's come and go as you please. So there's, but I would call and just let us know that you're going to be here so we know how much food you're going to make. Because here's the thing, if you show up at 5, chances are you're going to get food. If you show up at 8 o'clock, unless you tell us you're coming at 8 o'clock, there's a pretty good chance that a lot of the food may have run out. So, anyway folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, and we will see you soon. Cheers.